In this video, the objective is to be able to determine and represent the number of outcomes of an event using a tree diagram. And normally this is going to be for a compound event. And so let's say, for example, I have a compound event. I'm going to I'm going to flip a coin 3 times. The whole event is flipping a coin 3 times. Okay, so I'm going to flip it once. If you flip it once, I have the option of getting a heads or a tails. Okay, I'll use the heads and tails kind of coin this time. So that's the first time I flip the coin. I have a heads or tails. Okay. Now the second time I flip the coin, this is the first time. I'm saying the one event is flipping a coin 3 times, right? This is the second time. Okay, I'm going to flip it a third time. So, again, the second time I flip the coin, I have, again, the opportunity of getting a heads and tails. But the first time I have a heads and tails, let's say the first time I have a heads. So the second time I flip it, if I had a heads the first time, on the second one I could get a heads or a tails. And but if I had a tails the first time, then the second time again I could get a heads or a tails. Okay? And so I flip it again the third time, and so the third time I have the opportunity of getting again a heads or a tails. So one way I could get a heads, heads, and heads. I could get 3 heads, right? I could get a heads, heads, and then a tails. I could get a heads, then a tails, then a heads, or a heads, tails, tails. Okay, and now I think you can see the pattern here. So this shows the different outcomes of if I flip a coin 3 times. And each, even though there's only one number at the bottom, each one of these represents a different outcome of this event. Again, heads, heads, heads is one outcome. Heads, heads, tails is another outcome. Heads, tails, heads is an outcome. Heads, tails, tails is an outcome. Tails, heads, heads, tails, heads, tails. You can see there's 8 different outcomes. I could also write them out like this. That's one outcome. And you can see, right? And then it's going to be tails, heads, heads, tails. Okay, so you can see that there's 8 different outcomes if I'm keeping track of the order and if I flip a coin 3 times. What if I flip a coin and then roll a number cube? Well, if I flip a coin and roll a number cube, the first thing I'm doing is going to flip a coin, coin, number cube. Okay, 6-sided number cube. So I have a heads or tails opportunity, and then I have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can see head 1, head 2, head 3, and so on, tail 1, tail 2, tail 3, and so on. There are 12 outcomes. This is a, I would not want to do this for big numbers, I hope. I mean, you could if you have enough space and you plan it right. But this is, this shows, this is very similar to the counting principle, except for this actually shows now the different possible outcomes, whereas the counting principle gives you the number of possible outcomes, but it doesn't necessarily tell you what those outcomes could be. So you can see here again, if I go back to the counting principle, there were 2 possible outcomes for the first heads flip, 2 for the second heads flip, and 2 for the third heads flip. The third coin flip, right? And so there are, the counting principle will tell you the number, wow, look at that glare. The counting principle will tell you the number of outcomes, and the tree diagram will tell you the possible outcomes. Gotta get a new studio. Talk to the principal about that. Okay. So anyway, this is the tree diagram. I want to say anything. Let's just do one more. If I wanted to know the different ways, all the different ways that I could, well, if I rolled 2 coins, right? Rolled 2 coins. If I rolled 2 number cubes, I could, the first roll, I could get a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and I would do this. You can see there's going to be 36 different outcomes, and then the 2, oh, look at that. This would be for the 2, right? And then I could do it again, all the way, and then this would show a 1, 1, a 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4, and then so on down the road. So anyway, this is the counting, not the counting principle, the tree diagram. Again, it kind of shows you the same information, similar information as the counting principle, although this one actually helps you determine what those possible outcomes in fact are. All right, thank you for watching.